Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 699 of the WCB Podcast. Appreciate you tuning in. Couple announcements right off the rip. Next week, this time, we will be, actually the launch of episode 700, we will be in Nashville at the NWTF show along with Cartel Custom Calls. If you're there, it's not our normal booth. It's, we're in like a cartel vibe type booth. Not the booth you're used to seeing us in, but if you've never seen us, then it doesn't matter. Look for the WCB sign and the cartel sign, and we'll be there slinging turkey calls and WCB merch and high-fiving and having some cold beverages. So come see us there. That's it. That's a fun part here. Another announcement, obviously, episode 700 is next week. If this is 699, highly suggest, because we're doing some giveaways in that episode, that you make a Spotify account. You can do the free version, you can do a premium version, it doesn't matter, but Spotify has an option where you can comment and engage on the episode, and that's what we're asking you to do. And it's going to be best comment, it could be random, we're going to just pull from the comments there, and I think we'll probably end up doing it on YouTube as well. So pre-warning, that episode has already been recorded. It's over 7 hours long, and right now on the back end with Spotify and on our hosting platform that sends all the episodes out to Spotify and Apple and all these other hosting deals, podcast platforms, there's some issues with some of the video stuff right now on Spotify. I don't know what they're having, so we haven't been able to put video up on there. They're working through a bug or something like that. And then our hosting platform is having problems with the video for the file size. So it'll either be up as video in parts, if that's allowed, or if it's not there, it'll just be the audio until we can get the video uploaded to where they figure out some of their back end bug fix issues. So don't message us. We already know if there's an issue. So if it's out in multiple parts, it's because the video size was big and we had to chop it up and do our thing. So we've never done a video podcast this long, and we've never done it, obviously, through Spotify because, video podcasts and Spotify are new. Either way, commenting on YouTube and Spotify will probably get you entered in those giveaways. I think we're going to do the YouTube thing. But we had a lot of fun. We did 7 hours without stopping. It's obviously crazy. It's a good episode, so that's a little pre-warning on that whole 700 deal. Appreciate the support along the way. This episode is not a hunting episode. This is Bill Michaels from the morning show Dwyer Michaels was in. He's been an idol of ours in the broadcasting space, a big... he didn't know he's a mentor, but listening to those, it's somebody we look up to in that space and kind of the fun vibe they do with their show. 97x.com, twodorks.com. You can find those guys there. Awesome morning show. If you're not from the Quad Cities, you may or may not know them, but you can listen on their website and check them out. They're a ton of fun, and it was cool to have them in and kind of bullshit and hang out. So, just so you know, not a hunting episode, but that's okay. Not everyone does. Has to be a hunting episode here. I'm a little scatterbrained. We're getting ready for NWTF and a lot of shit coming down the line. Good problems. The podcast is presented by Grizzly Coolers. They got a whole new line of drinkware coming out. Their coolers are the best in the game. Their hunting blinds, in our opinion, are best in the game. And you can use code WCB at Grizzly. And, by the way, our partners tab on our website has all our discount codes and all our partners listed. So if you're ever like, man, what was that discount code? It's on our website. Big Tine frost seeding is what you should be thinking about. If you don't want to order Big Tine using code WCB 2025, Tractor Supply has it. Farm King has it. A lot of stores around the space. Farm and Fleet has it locally if you're in our area. So check out Big Time. Use code WCB 2025. Huntworth Gear, huntworthgear.com. In our opinion, for the price and the quality, you get the best hunting clothing available right now. Code WCB15 will save you some money. Obsessed with the Vertex pattern. Of course, love the Tarnin pattern. And they've always got some sort of sale or something rocking, but if not, code WCB15, save you some coin. Right now they have the winter markdown event, huge deals, 20 to 50% off on select items. So that ends February 16th. So get on that and shop around on there. There's a ton of great stuff, and you'll see all the patterns, and they have the Huntworth system builder, and it's kind of just make it easy for you, figure out what you need. Leupold Optics, they just had 2 new spotting scopes drop.
We got the Gen 2 binos that are amazing. Performance eyewear, obviously the range finders that you can range and mark and drop a pin to your mapping app. Onyx, being the most popular for that, but I'm sure it'll come to other platforms here eventually. But yeah, Leupold's killing it. I think the one of the best warranties in the industry for optics, and they just have that name that everybody knows. Leupold puts out quality stuff, and we're proud to have them as a partner. Trophyline saddle mobile hunting gear, code WCB, save you some coin at Trophyline, and we like them. They're good. The Hyperlight series obviously is ultralight and badass, but the Nimbus saddle kit is out. We gave one away at the Whitetail Social. It's an affordable and high quality saddle kit to get into to get you rocking. Camo Fire and Black Ovis, blackovis.com. Code WCB works there on everything and on top of sale items, I think excluding optics. They got the arrow builder. You can get your Victory arrows built at the arrow ID builder there and save some money with that code. And then camofire.com, you go revolving deals and crazy discounts. Novix tree stands made in America. They have the hybrid out if you want something smaller and you still want to saddle hunt out of a stand setup. But the Raider series is awesome. The Hilo, the Echo are obviously our preferred choices in tree stands. Made here, made in USA, in Ohio, actually. Victory arrows, dialed archery. The Proof is out. We shot the Proof in Texas, and the Arxos was amazing. The Proof is even better. It's cool to see the quick progression of that company. But check out Dialed Archery. You can use code WORKINGCLASS for free shipping on your site. Blackgate trail cams, R4G, in my opinion, best cellular cam in the game. Illuma trailers. Illuma, if you're in the side-by-side game or have a four-wheeler and hunting at all and you need a trailer for utility, Illuma's where you want to go. Buy once, cry once is the mentality there, because you're not going to have that thing rust out and get rock chipped and all the shit you see happen with these farm department store trailers you buy that are parked outside. All aluminum welded construction, made in Iowa. IllumaKLM.com. It's true. Buy once, cry once. I have one of their trailers for my side-by-side, and it's just easy. It's light enough. I can pick it up with one hand and roll it around the yard and slide it into whatever spot I want to so it's out of the way, and grab it and pull the Ranger on it and head to the farm and spray and get ready for food plots and all that. So Illuma KLM, check them out. Old Barn Taxidermy in Fort Madison, Iowa. We have the South African Hunt Clinic, this Saturday, February 8th, in West Point, Iowa, at the Hitching Post little event center there. It's free of charge. Come learn how to go to Africa, learn how to hunt Africa. If it's something you want to do in 5 years, it's a valuable thing to show up to. Enjoy some Old Barn snack sticks and a cold beverage, and just kind of see what it's about. See if it's something you want to do. Learn how to get there, from booking your flight, flying with your bow or your gun, to the hunt, what you want to hunt, what you can't hunt, all the stuff, what weapon, to getting your taxidermy back. Old Barn, Legendary African Safaris and WCB, we're going to teach you how to do that. Deercast, our choice in mapping, and it's just for whitetails, it's the best. In my opinion, mark all your trail cams, your stands, your blinds, your plots, all that stuff, and there's like a social feed on it too. So check out Deercast. Rogue Ridge e-bikes, big fan of those. I'm excited to get them back out for shed hunting, and you can cover a lot of ground on an e-bike. So you just gotta not go fast is the hard part, because they're so damn fun to ride around. And Rack Hub, you can use code WCB at Rack Hub. Click the link in the episode description. It's Rack Hub season. If you're finding sheds, or if you have a buck that you haven't taken to the taxidermist, you're not quite sure what to do with it, Rack Hub has an option for you. So check them out too. So enough rambling. That's the news. Remember, episode 700 next week. Jump on Spotify. Engage with us on Spotify. And the reason why we're doing that, one, we love Spotify, but two, it eliminates any spam accounts and fraud bullshit on regular socials. So we will reach out to you directly via, probably respond to you. If we chose you as a winner, we'll probably respond to you on Spotify. And then from there, we'll get your contact information so you know it's us and not somebody sitting in South America somewhere or the Middle East trying to rip off your financials. We don't want that to happen.
thank you for the support. Enjoy this episode. We'll see you in WTF, and hopefully we survive episode 700, or you survive it with us. We got a whole work day of episodes and one taken care of for you. So I don't even know what I'm saying. Just let's get to the episode.
I'm Chase Rolfson with Rubline Marketing.
This is Jeff Lindsay.
This is Michael Pitt.
Hey everybody, it's John Dudley from Knock on TV.
Hey guys, this is Jared Scheffler from Whitetail Adrenaline.
Hi, I'm Taylor Drury from Drury Outdoors.
Hey, this is Nick Munt from Bone Collector.
Hey, this is Melissa Blackman.
Working Class Bow Hunter.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast.
Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast. Working Class Bow Hunter.
Working Class Bow Hunter.
Working Class Bow Hunter.
You're listening to the Working Class Bow Hunter. That's right, this is a podcast for Billy Joe Lunchbucket, the working man, just like me and you. My name's Travis T-Bone Turner from the Bone Collector. Thank you for tuning in.
Nobody pushes the envelope like Working Class Bow Hunter.
It's really not that good.
Those people on that pod, those hosts are a little unhinged.
Working Class. Working Class.
Welcome to the WCB Pod. I think it's episode 699. We're pretty sure.
Question mark behind every number.
It's in there. Kurt Geyer speaking.
Eric Hammond.
Doug Schmidt.
And we have a special guest this week. Our first non-hunting guest, I think.
I don't hunt at all, which is, I mean, I'm really nervous in enemy territory here.
It's all good. No, I love this. So if our local listeners to the Quad City area will obviously know this right away, because you are, in my eyes, a Quad City legend, a broadcasting legend. Bill Michaels from Dwyer Michaels Morning Show.
Thanks. Yeah. Good. So it's Kurt,
Doug.
right?
Eric.
And Eric.
Yep.
Kurt, Doug, and Eric. And who's the kid that's
Jordan.
Our bartender.
Our bartender, yes.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me in. And I said to Kurt when I walked in here, I'm like, now, you know that I don't hunt. And it's not like for any political reason or nothing, anything like, and we can get into that.
Yeah, totally.
No, we really appreciate you coming on. I mean, you have been a legend to us growing up.
Ever since we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so like you are in our, like you're a big role model for us. Both of you guys are from the show, because we've listened to you guys since we were kids, our parents listening, and then us working jobs that we more than likely hated.
Yeah.
That's what we look forward to. And then when your show would end, I'd be like, well, shit, now I got to listen to music and whatever, you know, it's like.
Well, the deal was, and it's a true story, I've told it before, when I was in grade school, I used to just, my mouth would get me into trouble, but I'd be a wise ass to keep from getting beat up. You know, I wasn't a jock. I was pretty smart. I got good grades, and it was like a defense mechanism. So the nun, Sister Martha Mary, I don't know what I did, but she's like, my real name's not Michaels, but she's like, Billy Obanoff, if you figure out a way to make a living with that smart mouth of yours, you'll be a rich man someday. But I checked the newspaper, and nobody's hiring smart mouths anymore. So that was...
So she's wrong.
I'm like sitting there going, really? And I believed it, so...
Yeah. So it's cool.
Proved her wrong.
You guys are like, I think I'm not the only one that's like can relate to saying that. Like we hear that from our audience now, which is crazy. Like we're going on 10 years in March of doing this. And you guys have been on since the 80s?
Okay, stick with your script.
Shut up.
We're just saying facts. It's just facts.
Yeah.
Just facts. But what I'm trying to say is like you guys, I think we're not the only ones that can relate. It's like you helped us get through stuff at work. Like I had jobs I was miserable at, and you guys got me through it. You know?
Well, that means a lot. So we got an email today actually that said, and you hear from people that they wrote our names in their obituary. Like they would say he enjoyed reading, gardening, and the Dwyer Michaels show. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What do you say to that? And somebody asked one of our listeners, their dad wanted a T-shirt in extra large, and well, we only have a couple left. And he's like, well, we're going to bury my dad in one of your T-shirts. And I mean, that's pretty cool. Think about it. But
now that's wild.
It's like the ultimate compliment.
It's a waste of a T-shirt, but it is a nice.
You said it. I like it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys having me in. We've been trying to get our schedules coordinated. Dwyer would have been here. He's got something with his daughter. And since as we get older, we try to put family first.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's kind of a dick. You don't want to hear from him anyway. So.
We knew that. That's why we emailed you.
Okay, so Kurt said something about you emailed me like how many years ago?
Okay, so this would have been December 17th, 2021 is when I got the reply from you. So it would have been.
So it's a while ago, huh?
Yeah. So.
God, I hope this isn't bad.
No, it's good. I think it's cool because all right, I'll read my email first. How's that?
All right.
Because I emailed into the show and I said, "Hey guys, I'm a big fan of what you guys do. I just wanted to reach out and tell you that you guys have quite a big influence on us. We have a bow hunting podcast called Working Class Bow Hunter, and we've been rocking out an episode every single week for about 6 years, and we are coming up on our 500th episode. We're one of the biggest shows in our industry, and we recently purchased our own studio in New Windsor, Illinois, right across from the tavern, of course. I leave my job at John Deere officially on January 3rd to pursue my passion of hunting and podcasting as a full-time gig. I just wanted to write in and say thanks and keep up the good work."
Cool.
And you responded.
Did I? How long did it take me to respond? So you sent it.
No one cares, loser.
No.
Good luck.
Hey, go back to John Deere, you dummy.
No. So you sent it when?
It's a great job.
December of.
This would have been December 17th
at 10:30.
And you responded the same day.
Did I?
Oh, wow.
At 12:53 p.m.
Okay, wow.
So, and it wasn't just like a good luck. I can read your response.
Sure.
If you'd like. You said, "Wow, well, this just made my vacation start with a smile. Congratulations. I'm very flattered that we had an influence on what you're doing. Sounds like you've already been rather successful and are about to move up another level. If I could offer any suggestions as you take your venture to full-time broadcaster to broadcaster, it would be these. Keep bringing your passion for the sport to your podcast. I think of when I talked to Babe Winkleman. He's an expert, but never forgot he was still a guy who loves to fish. You have a knowledge and expertise on par with some of your audience, but many do not have the same expertise. Those people are the most important. Those other experts will be first to tell you what you're doing wrong. Remember when your podcast was better and how they wish you'd do more than blah, blah, blah. If you haven't heard from this crowd yet, you will." And that's true.
It's true.
"Prepare for each show and have a direction in mind. Steer the conversation knowing where it's heading and where the end is. And one more. Remember, there are people listening to you. Talk to them. Not just the other people in the room with you. Include them in your discussion. Here's how." And we do this all the time by saying, if you're in the car right now, Dwyer was talking about when I introduced electric shock, and one of our mentors taught us that years ago. On many podcasts, YouTube shows, even the Manning Brothers football audio, it feels like I'm eavesdropping on a conversation that isn't intended for me. It's great advice. And I hope we've done a good job at that. But try this. Listen to a group of people in the booth next to you at a restaurant. And next time you're out to dinner, tell me if what you hear sounds a lot like what you hear on many podcasts. The group is talking, yet you get the gist of what they're saying, but you're not part of it. That is one element. That one element is the biggest difference between people yakking about stuff to communicating with an audience. That's it. Once you're the biggest, somebody will want a piece of what you've got. Hopefully some simple radio tricks will help you stay a little bit better too. I will check out some shows over vacation. By the way, is this Kurt who did a hunt with Nugent, which we talked about just now? I didn't think it's somebody else, but a guy called us years ago and told us about his visit to Michigan. Congrats and best to you all. So great. And
I didn't listen to any of the shows. That was just
I was going to call you
way of ending.
I knew you didn't.
Yeah, I'm not listening to that.
Hopefully he didn't listen to 500.
Anybody who has passion for something and gets to be successful, there are people who, whether you write a book or the bands, all right, you put your album together, we'll put you on the radio, and we just do. And if I'm still surprised I wrote that much. I think I'd have gotten it out of my system. But and it's true. We try to think about where people are listening. Podcasting is different because they download it. You have no idea where they're listening. While we're doing it live, trying to encouraging people to be part of the conversation. But hell yeah, I don't know how many of your listeners have seen the inside of your your digs here, but goddamn, they got a bar in here. There's all these trophies. There's a friggin' giraffe in the other room. There's
Not
a
bad,
bunk
right?
room. There's a merch. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys, you should have my staff come in here and talk to you guys. So
Yeah.
you did it right. So
Dude, you haven't seen the freak off room, the Diddy freak off room we got?
you got a
built
Diddy
it.
freak off room?
All the baby oil.
Is that what the cameras are for?
Yeah, you get to see that after the podcast, but you're not drinking, so we got to play our cards right.
I thought we were just going to talk about
I grabbed them
hunting and
waters.
shit. I didn't know.
Grabbing them waters. Wink.
Waters.
But no, I mean, I really appreciated that email, especially at the time when I was getting ready to, leave my day job. Super scary, honestly. So,
Well, I could relate to, like, I asked my dad, I'm like, well, what did you and mom think? Because, he's an auctioneer and they wanted me to be an architect or something, normal. And he's like, oh, your mother and I, we knew it wasn't going to be
Something
There's
normal?
going to be something regular. We knew it was going to be something different. So I know what it's like to be scared. If you go for it, you become successful. If otherwise, you live your life playing what if.
Yep.
Totally.
So good for you guys. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, and a lot of it, honestly, my dad had passed away prior to that, so a lot of that was like the big wake up call for me personally. I think a little bit with our crew, especially. But
well, he's probably proud of you, man.
Yeah.
Anybody who's if you're making a living doing what you love, you don't have to work a day in your life.
Totally.
100%.
And so, when you guys got going in broadcasting, what was that like getting into it? Because now you can buy this, and the internet exists.
Well, it was difficult to get into the business. You had to have experience, and the way to get it was you went to college. Hopefully, you would intern at a radio station, and somebody would give you a break. And Dwyer was the one who got the break first. He was working at the rock station. I was working at a top 40 station. Just nothing was happening. Working part-time, and I got a job in Joliet playing just awful light rock. I hated every minute of it. And then and then Dwyer calls and said, hey, I have a chance to do a morning show, but I need a partner. Would you talk to this guy about it? And I'm like, well, what does he want? So I called the guy, and it's like an interview, and he's like, sir, I got my bachelor's degree in broadcast communications, and I see myself 10 years down the road, I'd like to be in Chicago or New York, and I fancy myself with my work ethic, and I could send you my resume, and none of that stuff matters. Your job is to keep him from talking so much. And that was it. That was my job interview. So
you trying to overpitch yourself and everything.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea. And it was like a frat house, the whole place. Everybody's in their 20s. The boss is sleeping with the sales manager, and Dwyer and I were roommates. And the afternoon guy lived with us, and we went to the bar. We hung out with the hockey team, up all night, drink, kind of like you guys were doing. And
yours sounds way cooler.
Thing is, nobody in our office is sleeping with one another.
So that's kind of the story. It's tough to break in to the business, and
what were most people interning for? At that time, to just be like a regular radio DJ, or what was?
Yeah, talking up records, and but that's not why you do this. You do it to communicate, to have some personality. Like people on TV, if you watch the news or anything, they got 10 seconds to say something. Otherwise, they're reading, and that dog has been recovered. It was found alive, and the people at Aledo are very excited about it. Here's Amber with more, and that's it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that isn't free form. There's no real personality in it. The weather guys and the sports guys. But if you're hard news, it's it.
Right.
And that's where most of them were going.
So did you and Dwyer grow up together?
No, he we're both from Illinois. I'm from far north suburbs. He's from south side. And we met in college. I was his boss, and he was my problem DJ, the one that just wouldn't follow the rules. And we couldn't have been more opposite. I mean, he's got hair, half of his head is shaved, and I got, a collar flipped up. I was total douche. And I was the boss, and the faculty advisor was like, hey man, this kid, he has to follow the format. You're the program director. You gotta keep him in line.
Yeah.
And so I got to have this conversation with him. I'm like, man, Rozak says that she heard what you're saying. And he's like, man, Michaels, dude, you got to chill. You're going to have a heart attack. and he was super cool. I knew he was funny. I knew he was good. He just wouldn't follow the rules. And he still doesn't. If we have a meeting, I'm like, man, it starts at 10. He's like, chill, man. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. I'm like, oh,
He's still saying that.
Yeah, he's been saying that for 30 years and it hasn't happened yet. I'm going to call your bluff.
Yeah.
So that's how we started. He was working at the rock station. I was on the top 40 station in the middle of the night. It was on Saturdays and Sundays. And we sort of talked about, well, what's your show doing this morning? What's your show doing this morning? Mm-hmm. And then we talked about if we were to ever do one, how would we do it different or better or whatever. So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
I was trying to think about it now because in the podcast scene, it's like, well, honestly, it's weird because in its 10 short years, when we started podcasting, we actually had like a live sound mixer that I had to like learn how to do like the whole mix minus thing. And like maybe not, I'm sure that's just easy stuff for you. But for me, I'm like, I had to learn this stuff. And then all of a sudden like this came out and then it's just like plug it in. There's how you take phone calls, hit that button and kind of just adjust this junk a little bit.
There was no way you could do any of this stuff. If you wanted to do something, you couldn't do it at home. You had to come back into the radio station, hope that the production studio was open. If you wanted to record something, funny skit, song, whatever. So there was nothing. You could write it out at home, which is what I still do. Write down notes, talk about this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, there was the equipment. I dream of this when I was your age.
Yeah,
Right,
totally.
right.
Well, I mean, we get to see not the transition that you have seen over the years, but like it just went from not a lot of people got into it because they didn't want to buy the mixer and stuff, but then that came out. Now everybody has one.
Right.
So you have to like, now if you want to start a podcast, especially in the hunting scene, because they're big everywhere, but the niche is, there's a lot in a small niche in hunting. So,
But you guys are the best? Is that...
I mean, for the sake of right now, yeah. I mean, you said it.
You said it.
Well, I don't want every goddamn hunting podcast to call me and I trail across.
Listen, once you've done ours, you don't need to do any more of them.
So for those of you listening, these guys know what they got the merch on. They're all sitting here drinking.
We're branded?
They're branded to the nine.
Yeah.
They're not posers. Like
we shoot giraffes.
Like me. There's a giraffe head, and that's real?
Eric
That's
shot
right.
it in
Yeah, I
Africa.
shot it over in Africa.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I said, I don't know if this is going to be of any interest to your audience because I don't like hunt at all. My wife and I have a place up in northern Wisconsin. I haven't dropped a fishing line in ever. Mm-hmm. I haven't.
That's okay though.
And the truth of it is, it's not that I oppose hunting, or I think I heard Nugent, I kill it in the spirit of the animal, I absorb it, and I 100% believe that he believes that, but that just doesn't speak to me. But
Sure, totally, yeah.
when I was a kid, my dad gave me a BB gun, and I got the lecture about there's a weapon, you pointed to, you aim to kill. Yeah. Well, it was a pellet gun, and I shot and I killed a squirrel. Mm-hmm. And I cried my eyes out because the tail was twitching all over the place, and it still scars me. I'm a pussy. I can't. Honest to God, I can't do it. I just can't. I'll go and hang with you guys. My neighbor up north, he ice fishes, and it ain't my thing, man.
I respect that though because it can't be for everyone.
No,
right? You know what I mean. Not everyone can hunt, but and Nugent is right, but he's extreme.
Very
obviously.
extreme about it.
Like we feel that way, but we're not like.
But he believes it, man.
He does believe
He
it.
believes it.
He's a way with words.
Well, we've interviewed him several times, and he's been on your show, and you just, hey, Ted, how's it going? You could leave and come back tomorrow, and he's still talking.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Well,
That's exactly what happened.
I was super. I don't know how you guys felt when you guys interviewed him several times. We interviewed him once, and it was like full throttle, and you better be paying attention because then when he lets off and expects you to talk, if you weren't following, you are exposed.
Totally.
Man.
Yeah, he tees it up and expects you to follow the lead.
Yeah.
You are his guest on your show.
Totally.
So
Yeah,
basically,
for sure.
yeah. But he's a
comes in
great
guns
guy.
hot, yeah.
Hey, I wanted to bring something up quick before we move off this because I was reading on you guys a little more to get prepared, and I laughed my ass off reading your Wikipedia page. Okay. And I don't know if you guys did this or not.
All right, what's it say?
Dwyer Michaels are well known for their goofy on-air antics and frequent personal appearances as their authority in constitutional law, and are known nationally for their animal rights activism as well as their support for the LGBTQ plus and trans rights causes.
Who did that?
The couple made international news when they released the resident elephant from Niabi Zoo back into the wild controlled environment of Carbon Cliff, Illinois.
Okay, now wait a minute.
You got some explaining to do
Okay,
here.
now that was. I think we were talking about doing that like as an April Fool's joke. We have to do something big. We have to do something that'll get talked about. And I don't know if it came down to that. We did not release the elephant
Back into the wild of Carbon Cliff.
Yeah, it's a natural environment.
Our animal rights activism, that's completely wrong. In fact, it's
The opposite.
the opposite. When PETA would say they're protesting McDonald's, let's say, for example, my argument would be, hey, if you believe what they say, fine. But if you don't believe what they say, if you disagree with them, even if you hate McDonald's, even if you're a vegetarian, go and order the largest goddamn Coke you can find. You got to help out and counteract what they're
Yeah, go
talking
get a
about.
McSloppy.
That's right.
Sloppy, yeah.
So that's just it's just I don't like people preaching to other people what they can and can't do.
Totally.
If you guys love hunting, God, go for it, man.
Yeah.
It's not my thing, and I'll celebrate that you do it, and I'll help you do it better. But don't tell me what I should and shouldn't do. I don't think
Totally.
that's not the way it should be. So okay, so that's the animal rights activism.
I thought it was super fun because I figured you guys did that to your own Wikipedia page.
No, we were screwing around once upon a time trying to change it to something, and the listeners started doing it, and I think it just got left. It was an on-air segment.
I love it. I'm surprised it's not 4 times as long with more ridiculous shit.
Well, it's probably gonna be now that you guys pointed it out.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna
Let's
get some
see,
views.
what else? 11-year stint. A constitutional law. That's because we got into a contractual fight. See,
That was
that's
the whole
wrong.
Cedar Rapids situation, right?
Yeah, that whole deal, we were on 97X the first time around, and
How long were you guys on 97X up until this point?
1990 to 95, I believe.
Okay.
And so we switched because they wanted us to improve the ratings, and we did. And they were going to pay us $10,000 if we got to number 1, and we did. And they're like, "Oh no, we'll give you 2 now and 8 a year from now if you hold." And I'm like, "No,
A year?
That's not how this works.
Yeah, and so what happened? We beat the country station, which was just considered unbeatable. What we didn't know was the owner of the country station. He's like, "Ooh, we got a problem. We either get rid of these 2 or we hire them." So all of a sudden, as I'm pissed off because they owe me $8,000.
Yeah, totally.
We get a call from some station in Milwaukee. "Hey, I heard great things about you. I want can you send me your tape?" I'm like, "Oh, we send it." The guy's name's Ed Christian, and he owned Saga. Well, Ed was a shill for the guy that owned LLR just to get all of our information. So they're doing all this under the radar, and our agent was he's negotiating all of this stuff, and so the ex comes back. I probably shouldn't be telling you guys all this.
No, I love this.
No,
This is
I
good
do.
stuff.
So they're going to work it out. We're going to make payments to get you guys that $10,000 for number 1. And our agent goes, "Okay, I want you to go in tomorrow and sign this contract, and then at the end of your show, slide this under the boss's door, tell him that you quit." So he signed the contract, and then we had a letter of resignation that and we slipped it under the door. And he went, what's going on? Well, our agent found that they didn't have a clause in there about the right to match, right of first refusal. They forgot that. So then we're going to go across town. Well, that started the whole lawsuit. And we'd been to probably all that bullshit that I told you about doing a good job and all that. We'd been to a radio conference, and they're like, "Oh man, no. Right to work state, they can't enforce those non-compete laws." Well, we found out real quick that they can, and we sat 6 months off the air.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, and we were being assholes about it.
Yeah, in that 6 months where you're like, "Shit, we're done." Did you ever think that?
Yeah, I was worried because you have to stay top of mind.
Totally, yeah.
So Q106 flipped over from like an elevator music station to classic rock.
Yeah.
And we knew nothing about it. They wouldn't tell us what station, but they're going to pay us all this money. So we're doing everything we can to stay top of mind. There's no social media. There's nothing.
Yeah,
we're showing up everywhere where any kind of TV camera was, and we had billboards and all of this.
Yeah.
And the ex who was Connoisseur Communications, they're freaking out, going, "Hey, you're not supposed to be doing this. It's illegal." So they sued us. And we got in front of the judge, and we're like, "Hey, we didn't know, man. We didn't." Well, now you do know. What are you supposed to do? I can't take down a billboard. And we're like, "Well, I don't know." And they didn't come down. And then we got hit with contempt of court. And so that was going to be 30 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. And that's when the owner of Q106 is like, "Okay, this has gone far enough," and he paid him off, and we started at the end of the 6 months.
No shit.
But it was the scariest thing. I just showed my kids all. I still got the legal file. "Dad, you almost went to jail?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, man." Hell yeah.
Damn right.
I'm hard. I cry like a pussy if I kill an animal, but I play the harmonica in jail. So that was the story of that. So
wow, I think that makes it cooler now. Like, that's a great story.
Well, it set a precedent because it was unknown, and like in the state of Iowa,
yeah.
And it went, there was no precedent, and the judge said that these are enforceable in the state of Iowa. And that was, at that point, the owners of the radio station are like, "Hey, we accomplished what we needed to do." This radio station went to #1 without us even being on it, which, that made us like legends. And we didn't do that. I wasn't sleeping at night. I'm worried about having a job.
Yeah.
So that's the story of that.
No kidding.
That's crazy. I didn't know all that happened.
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it, but
Yeah, no one will hear it.
yeah, it's easy for you guys to say. Yeah, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's cool. Like it makes it cooler now because that was in late 90s, so I would have been under 10. But I remember my dad always listened. And I remember my dad talking about it, and I remember going to the Mallards when the Mallards were as crazy big and seeing you guys at the Mallards. I remember you guys' banner walking into the Mark.
We did a whole thing with that just to stay top of mind because we couldn't legally go on the radio, and we didn't. So bumper stickers, free Dwyer Michaels, keychains that were handcuffs, and
do you still have some of that stuff anyway?
I do somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got to keep it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. Like, you guys are Quad City legends. I think you guys are so good.
Well,
and I think, I can't listen to Bob and Tom. Like, I think you guys are way above Bob and Tom.
Way above it.
Have you guys ever had like national broadcasting offers? Because to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, I would assume you would have somebody reach out like, "Look, we can go big."
God, why would you bring this up, man?
More shit they can't talk about.
No.
Is this the what if coming?
No.
And I don't mean that in a way that,
we're
like,
supposed to. Bob and Tom are great. Their success is undeniable, and they've been really cool to us.
yeah. By the way, I didn't mean it as like we couldn't go bigger. I didn't mean that.
No. The way when Bob and Tom started, they were expanding in Indiana, and there was a station in St. Louis, KSHE. They just got rid of, I want to say it was the Bird or something like that, some guy, and we were supposed to get hired for that job, but it was owned by Emmis at the time, and the guy called us and was like, "Man, we really want to hire you, but we're going to go with these two because the company owns the show and they're putting them on. Good luck to you." And we're like, "God damn." So, because we weren't getting along with our boss and things just weren't going right. So there was an opening at a station in Minneapolis. It was 93 something or other, just this hard ass rock station.
Yeah.
So we're pissed.
hard.
So we did some stupid shit. So at the end of the show, 10:01, Dwyer and I were going to drive up to Minneapolis with our tape in our hand and our resume. And we walk in, and Dwyer, this is God's honest truth. The receptionist's like, "Can I help you?" Like, "Yeah." Is the program? His name was Cruz. "Is Cruz in? Do you have an appointment?" "No." "Can I tell him what this is in regard?" "Tell him his next morning show is here." And we sat down in the waiting room. And we're just like looking around. She's like, "Cruz says he's busy. Please leave your tape and resume and he'll consider it." And we're like, "All right." Sat down our tape and resume and we left. We drove 6 hours up, 6 hours back. Never heard a call for that fucker. But we said,
"Fuck Cruz, man."
Yeah.
We had every stupid
Terrible
gimmick.
name.
And Dwyer came up with most of these. So we thought, how could we do something a little different? Let's take, because you would send out air checks, your best stuff, but they get lost with the cassettes with everybody else.
Right.
So we went to the pawn shop and we bought an 8-track player that records, and we recorded our thing, our tape on an 8-track, right?
You were podcasting before it was even thought of.
Yeah, you really were.
So, okay, and we're like, well, shit, what if he doesn't have an 8-track player? And Dwyer's like, well, we're not using this one anymore. Let's send it to him. So we sent him, the tape. The tape player cost us $100 to FedEx, the 8-track player. We sent some radio station a fire extinguisher. We're like, man, you better be ready. You're going to need this fire extinguisher. The radios are going to burn the competition.
We're bringing the heat.
We heard from nobody on it.
I can't believe you didn't hear from anybody after sending them a fire extinguisher.
No, it's just the way it was, Nobody looks
What the hell?
Nobody looks at two guys from Davenport and go, this is it. But Ian Case was before us. He tried to get us in to Nashville. I don't know if you guys remember Spike Odell, Spike at the mic. He was in Chicago, tried to get us in there. And just didn't, it had to be the right opportunity.
Right.
And then some friends of ours in San Diego, legends, they're like, why do you want to go there? And God, that's a great question. Why do I want to be in a big market? He's like, who gives a shit what market you're in? Be the biggest fish in the pond. Be the best that you can be. Make the most. Yeah, but nobody makes any money in these little markets. He's like, so change that. So we just put a gun to their heads and we switched stations how many times? We called, and Dwyer's really good at it. He'll call their bluff. We had this meeting one time. They wanted to cut our salary by like 30%.
Jeez.
And we're going, why? We've been doing great. And times are tough. And they got all the suits are sitting there and,
Trying to kind of intimidate you a little bit.
Yeah. But, you guys got to be team players and just, with the belt tightening across the board. And there's a pen with the contract. And I'm sitting there going, I guess this is it. This is all they're going to do. And Dwyer's like, I've heard enough. And he gets up and he walks out of the room. And now I'm just sitting there with these 3 dudes, and they're looking at me. You're
supposed to follow me, man.
So I stand up and I walk out of the room.
I guess I'm leaving too.
What he said.
And I walk around the corner, and Dwyer's in our office going, and I'm like, and he's going, they're fucking in there crying. Poor. I was like, can you believe that? I'm going, what did you do? They're gonna. He's like, they're not gonna. Just sit down. And it turned out that we called their bluff, and they had to pay us. So.
No shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good intuition there on that.
Dwyer's good at not being. Put a gun to his head and let's go. It's on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dude,
great.
those are great stories, and it's like
I'm the worst guy at it though. If I don't have Dwyer, I'm going okay.
Yeah.
Where do I
sign right now?
We don't know what that's like, but we know what it's like to like work with contracts with doing advertisement for companies, and there's a lot can happen if you just stand on what you know you're worth. And
that's very, very difficult.
It's scary.
And they'll wear you down and tell you all the reasons why you got to be a team player and times are tough. And they don't come to you and say, man, times are great. Here you go.
Here's some more
Things
money.
are so good, man. It'd really be helpful if you took, I'm about to break my hip falling off of my wallet. Just help me out here.
Yeah, take
some of
more
this
money.
Yeah. Doesn't work that way.
That.
So
that's so true, too.
So we decided, you know what, we're going to show you. And you truly want partners? You talk about a partnership? All right. Motivate us. Pay. So we're incentivized to if they hit financial goals and things like that.
Yeah.
And that wasn't necessarily our idea, but they said, oh, man, these guys get paid and they're going to get lazy. They got wives and kids now. They're family focused. We're worried that they're going to be lazy. And our agent's like, well, put your money where your mouth is. If they hit these goals, oh, yeah, we'll do that. And boom, we hit, we can't pay that.
Yeah, right.
They somehow do, though. They somehow do.
Somehow they figure it out. Well, and kind of going back, the reason why I asked the question I did, because I heard rumors, because you guys are good. You guys are really good, and it's actually enjoyable. And so I'm speaking right now to people who are
not in the Quad City area that maybe not know. And you guys can go to the website and I'll link it in the episode description.
They have
listen.
an app.
And an app and listen. So, and you'll see, like, we're not just blowing smoke. Like, there's a reason for this. Like, you guys are Quad City legends, but I'd always heard that you guys got offers to go national, but didn't want to because of the Quad City.
We couldn't do, I don't even really like being on 5 radio stations. It just changes the way I talk to people. Kind of like what I said.
In the context of the email.
In that email to you.
Talk to your audience.
Then I start listening to the way the late night talk show host, they talk about, so I was driving in this morning on the 5 and the subway's all, well, I can't relate to that.
Totally, yeah.
Get past the setup and then find the commonality that you have with everybody else.
Right.
So that's sort of it. The point I'm going to make is there's a guy who's jacking off or what? Well, no, it wouldn't be that, but
it could be.
You never know.
Right to that.
And the guy that hired us away said, people want to hear your interpretation, what you see. Explain the world to them through your eyes. That's kind of that's kind of it.
That's good advice.
And I'm not an authority on anything. I'm just a guy with a mouth and an opinion. And he's like, so is everybody else. They don't have the platform. So you guys have built an audience. Mm-hmm. That's why I said you guys are experts. Just share your knowledge with people. And our thing has always been, yes, we have the show. Yes, we have the platform, but we're the ringmasters at the circus.
Yeah.
It's more fun to include everybody else.
Totally, yeah.
To be part of it. Because you know what? And social media proves this. There's people that are 10 times funnier than us. They've seen more, that it's probably better. So you might as well include them. And we don't take ourselves too seriously, just like you guys.
I mean, twodorks.com, two dorks is
and
what
that's
you
true.
go.
It started our first job in Peoria. You two dorks are ruining this radio station. Y'all just sit there and shut up and play some music. And this guy would call every day. And so finally we went and looked. Hey man, twodorks.com is available. So we just registered it. Awesome. And now it's just, so what do they say? Man, you two are dork. Yeah, and?
Cool.
What else? You got anything else? That's it?
You're still listening, dumbass.
And it's... there you go. So
that is very relatable because we just kind of leaned into the term unhinged.
Yeah.
And we had a guy who's actually like a fairly large figure. All right, I'll kind of diss him back. He's in the shadow because his brother's a really large figure in the hunting industry, like one of the biggest. And he's his brother who's kind of like mad at it all. And
okay, so bigger meaning notoriety or health, girth, danger we should worry about is cholesterol level.
Everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? We're having fun.
Yeah.
You know, we're not.
It's a sport. It's a pastime.
Yeah.
You enjoy what you do. Some people get too caught up. Why are you keeping score about who's better or who's more popular?
People have a hard time relaxing and enjoying. Like, I always say this: it's like if anyone throws us shade, it's only because we're for sure having more fun than them.
Yeah.
Well, then that's a them problem.
Totally.
Right.
You're right.
So like, how many people listen to you guys?
Like
now
5.
It's a lot. Like, I could run you through and I'll show you after, but we have millions some streams on Spotify, and that's
Really?
Spotify alone. And then,
So I better pick this up a notch.
but no, we have a lot. I think it's surprising. And it's funny because it's always done well. There's so many podcasts. You ask them how many know. They're like, oh, I do X amount of downloads a month. When we don't even know. I know it's good and I don't stress over it. So.
Yeah.
We operate and have fun, and I look where I need to look, like year-end stuff when I'm advertisers and partners and stuff like that.
Sure.
But we're in the millions, which is awesome, especially for hunting. But
it is a pretty niche thing.
It's a small niche. Yeah.
But like with our goal with it always has been, we're hunters. We talk about hunting 90% of the time, but I want to be entertainment that people know we're about hunting. It's kind of like, if you know something's pro Second Amendment and you're a big gun guy, you're going to support it, whether they're talking about guns or not.
Yeah.
And we like to provide entertainment because we do, right now we're on 1 episode a week. In the off season, we're 2 episodes a week. And I want to provide entertainment for that dude who's at work,
right?
Who wants to get through his day and then wants to get off work to go hunting or shoot his bow or whatever it is. So
who's the better shot on the show?
He's calling us out right now.
That'd be me.
Definitely me.
Oh, bullshit.
Really me.
Yeah, it'd be me.
Doug's a good shot.
Really? Okay.
Kurt's a good shot.
I think
you guys are both good shots.
With bows, but what about with other like rifle?
We shoot rifles, but we haven't shot enough around each other to know that.
Not at all.
Bows are where it'd be. I'd say we're all pretty good at bows. I'd say it'd be a good run.
Okay.
It'd be a good
but
run.
you're not like anti-Second Amendment?
No,
we're because
definitely-
I do have. I got a Henry Golden Boy.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. When I turned 50, my dad, he's like, hey, you have to come up to Wisconsin. I got to give you your birthday present, and it has to be on your birthday. You have to be here at such and such a time. I had no idea. So he takes me to this, it's called Firing Line in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and it's Anthony, the guy who runs Henry Repeating Arms, Anthony Imperato or whatever, and he hands me my gun. He was there.
Holy cow.
So it was a deal where I'm an Eagle Scout, and they had this special Eagle Scout Henry 22 Golden Boy. And he gives it to me. And, okay, go to sign the papers, and then it's going to be mine. Well, my driver's license expired the day before. So I drive 6 hours, and they're like, I just, there's nothing I can do. And they go and put it back in the safe. So I had to, but I wound up buying another one anyway that I could shoot because it's collectible, it's never been fired, but it's fun to shoot that thing.
It's a pretty gun too. That's
it's your license expires a day before.
No idea. It expired. You have to renew it. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This could switch when they quit sending the thing in the mail to renew it. I don't look at that.
But at the same time, they're giving guns to criminals. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, no, my ID was expired.
Starting with you, unlicensed piece of shit.
One day.
Criminal.
It's funny because I have young kids, and we were at Walmart when we were down in Texas, and they had a Golden Boy BB gun, and it looked just like the Golden Boy. I'm like, I'm gonna get that for my kids, get them shooting. But I think it might be a little bit. They're young, it might be a little heavy for them, but. Yeah, they make a Golden Boy version of like a pellet gun.
I didn't know that.
So that'd be like a neat thing. Like if you have one of those, like, oh yeah, I got the same gun as Dad.
So the rifles, I think they make in New Jersey, and the shotguns are made in Rice Lake. There's two plants up there, and I guess that's why he was there. Yeah, and I didn't know who the dude was. And then I look, I'm like, oh shit, that's the guy from the TV. What I said to him, he's handing it to me. They're taking the picture. I'm like, so are you an Eagle Scout? He's like, no, I'm not.
As he's got a giant picture right behind you.
Then I go over to check out, and I'm like looking at they can't sell it to me because my license is expired.
That's amazing.
What a douche.
I love it. It's
not very Eagle Scouting.
No, it's not. You would think.
Yeah, I think that's awesome though.
That's a funny story though.
But I don't know. We gun hunt. We've killed animals with guns. We've gun hunted all that and stuff, and we enjoy it. But bow hunting is just the season's longer.
Yeah,
it requires a little more out of you generally. So it's just what we kind of.
So the seasons, like up in Wisconsin, they'll shut down some of the trails, and I don't know if it's turkey, if it's deer, if it's bow, if it's rifle, if it's lasso. I don't know what all the
atlatl. You know what an atlatl is? It's like a big spear, but you use a stick to propel it. It's like an old Indian style.
Yeah, I ain't any good with that either.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to try it, but like in Illinois and Iowa, like bow season starts October 1st.
Okay,
and it just ended our bow season in Illinois ended Sunday.
Ours was the 10th.
And really? Is that long?
Yeah, it's long.
No kidding.
Yeah, just it's harder generally. And then like in our space, it's a big controversy that crossbows, except not in Iowa, but in Illinois. So, an able-bodied person can now use a crossbow during those seasons. And
why?
Good question.
Great question.
Too powerful, or
well, where the controversy is. The controversy is that with a bow, it's you pull back and it's propelled by the force from the limbs that you pull back physically and let go of the limbs, and that is what fires your arrow.
Okay.
So that's why the season's longer generally because it's more difficult. Well, with the crossbow, you're not holding the weight of the bow and you're pulling a trigger. So a lot of people kind of the slang for them is like cross gun. So in our industry, like the crossbow thing's super controversial, and we're known to get controversial with it. We're not anti crossbow, But I like
Let them do it. You'll use a rifle during rifle season. You don't. If you pack your own bullets, it doesn't matter. You know.
Well, for us, that's what our point is like. Well, we're not anti crossbow because it gets a lot of people into it, but we think crossbow should have its own season, separate from like a regular archery.
Is it because the bow can or the arrow can go so much farther?
Oh, it hauls ass.
Yeah, well, it hauls ass, but a lot of it is it's there's scopes on them and stuff, so it leans more on the firearm type side of things when you get into it, versus the archery side.
So you're not going to miss.
Yeah, basically, or a lot of times you get some inexperience because it gets a lot of new hunters into hunting, which is great. But what happens is because there's a scope and all this, and the crossbow companies are kind of at fault. Like there was a crossbow company for a long time advertising out of the box 100-yard accuracy. Which is insane.
Really? That's crazy.
So then what that does is new hunters come in and think, well, I can shoot 100 yards with this, and they just whiff and wound animals, and it's just not the most ethical situation.
I got you.
So
it's not as sporting.
It's not as sporting. From a bow hunter's perspective, it's a little like less ethical from that standpoint, and it's more firearm like.
Sure.
And we think it should have its own zone. It's a deep rabbit hole, man.
It is.
It's a dark hole.
It's a dark hole.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah, man.
I'm not here from the Crossbow Federation, or whatever.
United Crossbow Federation. Yeah. It's the whatever amendment it is. It's crossbow rights, but no, I don't know. We're not against it. It's good for getting people into it, but it's definitely a hot topic in our scene.
But you said it's for able-bodied.
So I'm cool with it if someone's handicapped or has an injury or something like that.
What if I go get a sticker from the doctor's office and like the kind of hang on my mirror?
That's what they do in Iowa.
If I got one, like a note from my doctor that I could use a crossbow.
Yeah, in Iowa, but in Illinois now anybody can use it. So
if I got like a boot, like I have a cast on my foot, then I could shoot with a crossbow.
I don't know. It depends on the doctor.
Your foot, I
think so.
It's really bad.
It hurts. It's really bad, Doc. Yeah, I don't know what it takes, but there used to be.
I could have got one.
Well, you broke your pelvis.
Yeah, and my collarbone. But
doing what?
Your back.
Motorcycle and falling out of a deer stand.
Okay.
So Doug was in college. You were in college when you were in a wheelchair wheeling around with your broken back.
Yeah. Picking up chicks.
Ask him how much pussy he got in a wheelchair.
Wheelchair pussy?
Now another wheelchair person.
Why? You ever tried it?
No. Okay. I missed my chance.
Yeah, you missed your opportunity.
Hey,
Doug.
girl, I've been watching the way you wheel around here, man.
Smooth wheeling.
Yeah, she left me for a guy in an electric chair.
How much PSI you wrote in the
she can't feel anything, but I'm in total pain.
What college did you go to?
Iowa State.
Oh, right on. Okay.
So you were in a wheelchair in Iowa State?
Yeah,
So
I never paid for a drink.
So you go to the bars. Just paint the picture for everyone listening.
Okay, so I lived really close to the bars, so my buddies would wheel me there, and I could hop on one foot down the stairs to get to the bars and stuff.
Yeah.
But once you get in there, everyone thinks you're paralyzed. And then I was tired of explaining to it, so I just go into it,
Scary, like a straw in their leg.
I lean right into it.
Get the bathroom door for me. What? Must be nice to have two working legs.
You piece of shit.
The straw.
Like just walking around with your
level.
Yeah, walking around with your two legs.
He's got actual straw from McDonald's there.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey man, would you pick up that piece of pizza and just put it right up here?
I'd pay for the tab, but I can't reach it.
Yeah, I can't. Must be nice.
Yeah.
To have a wallet that you can grab.
Yeah.
I dream of that.
Good old
to have a
days.
back pocket that I
So
could
okay,
reach.
you went to Iowa State.
Blackhawk, baby, dirty
Blackhawk.
bird.
Okay.
I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Oh, I did.
I got the dirty bird, the 2-year.
That's all right, man.
Hey, it worked out.
It's something.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I want to finish this wheelchair story because did you talk to chicks in the wheelchair or what?
I don't know, maybe, but they just
No, tell the truth. You don't. It's not that you don't know if
they
you
just
did or
all
not.
felt bad for you. And
Well,
I didn't
did you have
I didn't
your
like
story?
That.
Like they go.
I
it's
don't
like
know. You
being
tell
in
it so many
jail.
times, you get over with.
You never got laid in the wheelchair?
No,
Not once.
He hit a broken pelvis.
you had to wait.
So let's go.
I
Was?
I was on painkillers.
That's
I couldn't
that's
made
what
it
you
work.
say. Hey man, it'd really be helpful if you could kind of blow me because the pelvis.
Because of pelvis.
I should have used that. Fuck.
You got to have your story.
Yeah.
It's like being in jail. What are you in for? Oh well, I fell
Blow
out of
me.
a deer. Let's just get that. Why don't you put that mouth to good use?
Oh man, I can't believe you didn't lean into that, dude.
I don't know.
That's a missed opportunity.
That
in my
was a missed
opinion.
opportunity. You're right.
So are you married?
No.
Doug's
I have a girlfriend.
Doug's about to be.
Let's talk about her. What's that? What's how many years?
I'll be coming up on 2 soon.
Okay, 2
years.
You said too soon.
Coming up on too soon.
I'm just listening to this.
She's listening?
I hope not.
Oh man.
No, she won't listen. Does she listen?
Yeah.
She does? Oh, fuck. Sorry, Alexa. She looked great today, I bet.
Oh, wait. Is her really name? Her name is really Alexa. It's not like a device.
No, yeah.
Alexa,
It's not a
blow
robot.
me.
It gets confusing in the Schmidt household.
Did you know that, like, when we over the radio, if we say that Alexa, do whatever, it makes everybody's Alexa goes
amazing.
crazy.
Really?
Oh, we need to start doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny. I never thought about that. We should do you guys ever, like, being on the radio, do you guys have to really, like, police yourself and how you talk? You're probably used to it now, but, like,
we got to know our lane. You got to stay within what's expected, what's accepted. You push, but you don't. After being on the radio for 30 years, people know that we won't go to a certain line.
of course.
Right.
And we had to define that. Like some of the things that we would do, people would go crazy and call and complain and write that to the newspaper.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not really surprised.
Yeah,
by that,
but then we had to kind of, as we got older, you know, you're married, you have kids, and it just sort of reflects your life. But you know what people will tolerate. We never talk politics. We never.
Smart, yeah.
We just steer clear of all. And there's so many things. You look for a commonality with the audience, shared experience. And if you're talking about things that nobody can relate to, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so we didn't talk about COVID because there was, you know, Dwyer says, well, we don't know, they don't know, so let's not confuse people.
super smart. And people want to break from it, too.
And that's exactly it. That's what, and we said, listen, we don't have any new information, so we're going to just, I hope it's okay, but we're not going to talk about that. And that, when 9/11 happened, it was the same sort of thing. We're like, you know, we're not being disrespectful, but we're going to do what you guys expect us to do every morning.
Right.
And there were some people that, man, it's too soon. Well, what's too soon? You know, it's just
Exactly.
we're not a news station. Although,
Yeah.
you know, you do got to know what you're talking about, and they expect you to be accurate, honest. All that
But I
sort
think,
of stuff.
like, where you guys pull it off, too, I think similar with us, it's like, you don't get, like, it's not the fucking View where you're, like, giving this, like, hot take, like, thing, and people are like, man, they're way off. You guys are just being real dudes.
Yeah, but every once in a while, and it'll bother me, and Dwyer's like, just let it go. Dwyer's real good at taking on people who want to stir up. I thought I knew you too. I thought, especially you.
Yeah.
You know, as a... There was one woman who went to town on him. He's like, first of all, you're reading way more into me. I never said what you're projecting onto me. And he'll talk them down to the point where, like, Jesus, I'm sorry. And they'll send him flowers or something.
Get flowers out of the deal. Shit.
What the fuck?
We didn't get better at that.
We've had, there was somebody, the Iowa chapter of the National Organization of Women. We were talking one morning about, do you guys remember, you know, that Land O'Lakes butter thing?
Yeah.
That if you take and fold it, and it makes the Indian, it looks like she's showing her boobs.
Yep. I remember that.
I don't know that.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
This is pretty highbrow entertainment. So that was you know, go and you can see it. Ha ha ha. We did this as kids. I thought indigenous people are, you know. So they start going after advertisers. And I'm like, oh my God, here it is. We're going to get canceled.
You've never seen this before?
So you move her knees up and it looks
You're
like
talking about
boobs.
the indigenous titties?
Hey, easy. That's
sorry.
You better watch it. They'll come after you.
You know what? Hey, I love a good set of
Land
Land O'Lakes.
Or knees, because it's her knees, but they look like nipples. And so you fold it up, and if you do it right, like
never
that
knew
person,
that.
this is how I spend my day. So, what are you doing? Sorry, honey, working. Doing my job.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
You're sitting over here giggling because her knees look like boobs.
Sorry, that's what shows our maturity level here, but.
But you know, this person took it seriously, and they're gonna go after. And we know other radio people who had, and they can be relentless. But the solution is, well, don't listen. Just change the station.
Right.
Nobody's forcing you. Yes. Well, who made you in charge? You know.
Yeah.
Being the police of what's right and what's wrong. It's a fucking joke.
It's butter.
Yeah.
It's all fun. That's the thing. It's like we get people that
Butter
bitch.
boobs.
It doesn't happen so often anymore. Like even Spotify and Apple were required to mark like explicit, which I have no issue. It says it. There's the E, explicit E.
Like what qualifies as explicit?
Fuck, saying fuck or what? You know.
Fuck. So now it's capital.
So now I got to mark
Yeah, you
explicit.
just ruined the episode.
But
Man.
every
Way to
one
go.
of them is marked explicit, and then people will bitch about us cussing. I'm like, you clicked on our faces. Like the internet's vast. It's not like you turn on the radio and we're just there.
What do they
What
think
is
will
this?
happen when a bunch of dudes are out hunting deer or whatever? Oh,
Exhibit A.
isn't that fantastic? Shoot the fucker! That's that when you.
Well, it's funny.
Great hunt.
Kind of in a way, which is silly because like when we started, the hunting industry
That's how it was.
was not in the transition, but like I'd say a few years into us podcasting, it kind of transitioned to more like how people are content. But hunting shows, because of the scrutiny that hunters have always been under, the Elmer Fudd, mentality and all that shit. Hunting shows were super buttoned up and super like, today on the show with WCB, we're going hunting whitetails in Texas. And it would be real clean. And I harvested this buck.
What a hunt.
What a hunt. And it would
Great
be very clean like that.
Who wants to listen to that?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Boring as shit.
Yeah.
And then when we come in and got a little popularity because we're reckless and unhinged, then there's people that weren't used to it. Now we're good. I think people understand what we're doing. It's a little more common.
But isn't this how people talk?
100%.
I'm sure you guys talk about conservation and
Totally.
safety and things like that. As long as you're staying in your lane in that regard, who cares?
Total. But with us, it's like it's good to talk about that. But for 700 episodes, we got to mix it up.
Sure.
How unprofessional was that? Would you ever do that?
Yeah.
During the commercials, where's he going?
he didn't even ask for my drink to mix me a new drink.
Wow.
He's going to mix another drink?
I guess.
I don't know. Who knows what he's doing?
What a dick. I'm going to make him do
We
something.
don't get
when he gets
commercial
back.
breaks.
Yeah, no, we just roll through. This is where we place a mid-roll here in this segment.
So you do take a break and then what? You do like, hey.
We almost never do.
We just push through.
Sometimes we just power through. Every now and again, we'll do like a mid-roll read or something like that. You know, something simplistic, but nothing. I don't know. We're pretty relaxed.
Yeah, we're pretty good at it.
Okay. Let's say we have a good time.
So this is episode number,
I think 699.
and you said it's changing on.
We're gonna change our intro just slightly for 700, just slightly. We got some We upgraded it.
Who's the guest on episode 700?
It's just us. So,
I couldn't be on that one.
No,
You could.
No.
You could stop by.
You could.
No.
Because we're going to try and do, well, fuck, I don't know if I commit to this. We're going to push for 7 hours, do a 7-hour show.
What are you going to talk about for 7 hours? I'm exhausted after.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're pushing an hour now.
Are we?
Our buddy killed a deer, a big giant deer. Then we're going to tell that story. And then we got some, I don't want to give it all away. I can't give it all away.
Yeah, we can't get all the
I'll
details.
tell you after.
Gotcha.
But we're doing a bunch of giveaways.
You could come by.
Our partners.
Stop by.
Well, it all depends, man. Like I said, our commitments are after the show. I have to make time for other things.
Yeah.
And not that this isn't, but it's still kind
You're
of
still working.
work-related.
You're working.
I forgot to tell my wife that I was doing this today, and she had it all booked for our son's
boy.
birthday.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, hey, man, it's work, man. We've been trying to put this together for like a year, and I can't and she went and rescheduled it. So now it's tomorrow.
Sorry, honey.
So I hope you're happy.
Yeah. Are you having fun there with the stupid bow hunters?
I know
Yeah,
I won't be having fun when I get home. But
Continue on.
Dead air.
so this is
Sorry, I wasn't
before
prepared.
you would edit this out.
You just threw guns hot at me.
No. You ever see It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they start a podcast?
Yeah.
And they
The war. We're talking about the war.
One thing I meant to grab before we got started. So, we've been podcasting 10 years, and we met some great guys at a trade show in Wisconsin. They're from Fond du Lac.
Right.
And they have a distillery called Ledge Rock Distillery. And we collab with them. We have our own whiskey. Called Kill Bottle Whiskey. And we just launched it, so we wanted to gift you a bottle
Right on.
of Kill Bottle Whiskey for coming to us.
You guys got to teach me how to merch and all that. We're just getting old and lazy.
That's all right. We'll be your publicist.
What's your cut on this, man? You guys
We'll tell you after.
look
the
at
show.
this number 24.
Number 24, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first batch of 30 we did. So
Yeah.
We'll be giving them to in-studio guests because we understand it's not hard, or it is hard to get here in person. A lot of podcasts do call-ins, and
no, I think it's cool though. It sounds like shit if you're on Skype or Zoom and on the
really
phone.
does.
Yeah.
It just everybody you can hear it because you got to remember where are people listening in the car or at work or something like that. It's noisy.
Yeah.
Kids are screaming in the background. It's hard enough, and people if they're on the phone, they go down one hill and then. That's great, man.
Yeah. Awesome. What? Oh, yeah.
Great.
So for us, too, it's like thinking about the guy welding who's listening over the shop radio. Like, it's loud and shit in there. So,
Yeah.
It's not that we won't do call-ins. We're just trying. We built this and we invested money into this space. So,
I'm serious, you guys. This is. I didn't know what I was going to find when you told me, come on out here. We got this space where we record. And
A trailer.
I didn't know, man. There might be a bucket of heads sitting in the corner. I walk in, I'm like, Jesus, it's like a nightclub in here.
That is funny, too. Like, I totally get that perspective. It's like a hunting podcast and some dude emailing you like, hey, man, come do our pod.
Well, no, if you were nice enough to ask or, I figured the least I could do is respond. And we do our best to get back.
It was funny when we first built this and we had some guests and they'd be like, this is way nicer than I thought for you guys. Yeah, for you guys. What does that mean? They thought it'd just be some shitty garage out back,
Yeah.
Hey, I did see you guys had a podcast for a little bit on Apple.
Well, yeah. What was it?
The last one was like August of 24 that you uploaded.
I see that wasn't supposed to happen. Well, one of our producers was pushing us to do this, and I'm like, man, I have 5:30 to 10. I have to do that. I don't have anything left. I don't have extra stuff.
That's a lot to do.
Every day. And
every day. That's different.
So what happened was when you put those out there, like any platform can grab them. And all of a sudden, we found out that it's all over the place, and iHeart had it. Well, that violates our contract, so we get in huge trouble. But the bigger thing was, the best thing was all of our segments with Eddie Van Halen. And I don't know if your audience knows, we used to have his home phone number, and we would call him just 5 o'clock in the morning, our time, and it'd be 3 a.m. there, and he would pick up the phone, and he would just we would talk. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the segments were on some dude's podcast with thousands and thousands of downloads, listens, spins, whatever. And like I'm looking at ours, I'm like, what? How did this happen?
Yeah.
So, but contractually, we weren't supposed to be doing it. So
could you take the morning show and upload it as a podcast under the radio network, or
I suppose, but
and you just put it on the app or whatever? Or?
Well, the company wants. How are you going to monetize it?
Totally, yeah.
Yep.
And when they start asking that, I'm like, well, what's our cut going to be? Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, forget about the podcast.
So
it gets mixed.
So I don't know. It's just. It's more work than I want to do. I don't know enough about it like you guys do.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the money because we're not going to do any more work and then get
totally
20% of it.
There nowadays it'd be easy.
Yeah.
The network just have to be on board, or the state, or however that's worded.
There are a bunch of guys who do it, and they got the setup with the lights and the this and that. But what we do in the morning, I don't want the visual.
You don't have to film it. You don't have to film it.
Really?
Like, this is all extra. The cameras are extra. Like,
we just had those probably a year ago?
Yeah. Well, these upgraded cameras are recent, but like Spotify now does video if you want, but you don't have to do video.
Yeah, nobody wants to see my ugly ass.
But what I'm thinking of, like, the guy who,
here we are.
it's like, man, I missed the broadcast. I want to listen now. I know you can through the app, right?
But they could. But the thing is, we are still ratings is what drives the radio side of it. Right. And if they can listen whenever, they might not tune in the morning. Well, I don't want to cannibalize myself, especially if they're not going to pay me for it, and I'm expected to get this much in terms of an audience over the air.
Right.
So until they figure that out, I ain't about to start doing more work.
Yeah. And then cut yourself out of what you got, what you're known for.
It's kind of like slitting your own throat. So it's I get the whole on-demand thing, but the model for radio still is you got to tune in, and until that changes,
Yeah.
You know, we're a slave to the ratings.
I think it's cool. I think it's good.
Well, we should, and I'm too old and afraid to try it, and
you guys would kill it.
But I'm sure we would. Maybe
You'd be
I'll-
just
call your boy.
There
Call your
has
boy.
been so many times where I'm like, I have to go do something, miss a
you
segment.
just
I come
miss
back,
out
I'm
something,
like, fuck, I wish I could go back and listen to that.
You guys are
cut in there laughing. Like,
too
what are they
calm.
laughing about?
Sometimes, and we don't know. You know, you say something, we get into a segment, and you look down. There's no emails, there's no phone calls, and I'm like, I don't. Maybe I know. I think I'm funny as hell, but if it's like my wife, when I get that one eyebrow raised up, that she don't think I'm funny. You know? So
Oh, that wasn't funny.
If you get call your boys. We'll
All right.
figure it out. But I got one big last question for
Okay.
you, and then if we can cut it from wherever we need to.
Sure.
And you might not even want to answer this, and that's okay. That's the point of asking it.
Uh-huh.
How much longer are you guys going to do the show?
well, we
Do you ever feel burnt? Like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Especially, it's not. I love doing what I do with Dwyer, and we have Megan and Hairball and Goose, and right now it's just great. It's what the stuff that starts at 10 o'clock. That's just this meeting and talking about goals on the digital side and clicks and I don't have any interest in any of that shit, and that's the way the business is going. But to answer your question, we just signed. I think we have 3 years left, and then we'll see what happens. Because this last contract was brutal. I mean, I've never not worked without a contract, and they let it lapse. And I mean, that's stressful.
For sure.
And I won't do it. I mean, we did, but they're trying to send the signal that, hey man, your ship is sailing. But I know what the revenue is, so we'll keep doing it. I don't know. I'm 58. As long as I'm still relevant, I don't want to overstay my welcome. And some days I feel like I am, because I drive home from work and I'm like, okay, it's about a B- this morning. This was okay. And then I go right back into getting ready for the next morning.
Day.
Yeah.
And that kind of, to live like that, kind of sucks for my family.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not present. My wife will have to go put the iPad down, put the phone down. I need you to listen to me.
Yeah. You're right.
Right. And we got inducted into the Broadcast Hall of Fame at Illinois State.
Congratulations.
And
That's awesome.
They have
You deserve
alumni and this and that, and we had to write a speech, and I'm writing down all this stuff. And last but not least, I'm going to thank my wife. I'm like, you know what? So I went up there and I'm like, before anything, I want to thank my wife first, because for 30 years I've asked you to be last. And that's the truth. I don't consume or look. I'm always on the lookout for stuff to talk about. Always.
Mm-hmm. Always working.
Well, it's just you live
Hard
your
to
life
turn
on
off.
the radio, and we're done. I feel great, but shit, what am I gonna do tomorrow?
Right.
And people will ask, well, what are you talking about tomorrow morning? And I know in my head I've got this, and this, and I don't think any of it is good. Hopefully Dwyer's got this, and this. The producers hopefully will have this, and it all sort of comes together. But that question makes me go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So we'll keep doing it as long as they'll have us around. But we know the sun is setting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. You guys' performance is awesome. Like, you guys are great. But you've been on the air for so long. It's and I just was curious if you even thought about it.
Oh, all the time. But what's going to happen? We need a exit strategy, and but I'm not going to be one of these guys. It'll be me and Dwyer. I'm not going to do it without him, because it just is.
It wouldn't be right.
It wouldn't work. It just, we have a rhythm that I'm used to it after 30 years. That's why we don't take. If one of us is on vacation, the other one is gone.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound the same, it doesn't work, and that's when you get into trouble. If he's not there, because it'll piss me off. Don't bring that up. Without that voice to put the brakes on something that I think is great, that balance is gone, and that's how you get into trouble. Every time we've had a problem, it was something I did when he wasn't there, or something he did when I wasn't there. So no more. Yeah. Well, what? It's fine. It sounds great. No. We're not. That's. Yeah. We'll get into trouble, and then you'll go, well, we told you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that,
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's super respectful.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We're a partnership through and through and through. We make the exact same amount of money. I know we joke about it, but everything is 50-50. Everything is 100% equitable between the two of us because, we've been doing our show longer than each of us has been married.
Yeah.
And those were the rules. We don't keep score. We're a team. We decide if it's one or the other or both. Generally, it's both because an advertiser will want, oh, yeah, but we don't have the budget, man. We just want that one, the funny one. Like, no, it doesn't work like that because you start keeping score and then feelings get hurt and we don't keep score. So,
well, that's really cool.
That's really cool.
Congratulations on all the success.
And congratulations to you guys. I'm telling you, for those of you listening, if you haven't, do you allow people to come in and check it out?
Every now and again, but
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I didn't, you got thousands of dollars worth of, I don't know what the rent is on this place.
We own it.
You own it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm in the wrong business.
That's what I'm saying. Call your boys.
No, you went all in, and that's great. And that really made me feel good that you still have that email. I did remember that because it was before Christmas break. And I said, I listened to some of these podcasts. And I'm like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. And now we're doing it. So
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I do, I want you to know, we do look up to you guys.
Hey,
and you guys
I really appreciate it. And if I offered you any advice and you took it to heart and it helped, God bless you.
I hope I followed that advice. I guess our listeners are going to expose us if we didn't. But
shit.
But I did. That meant a lot to me that you responded
for
that
sure,
way.
man. But the listeners are what make you who you are. So never and Dwyer taught me this. You go to any other radio thing or any behind a table. Who should I? No, man.
Yeah.
Take their picture, shake their hand. Don't be. You're not a fucking star.
No. Right. We sit behind microphones.
We ride in the caboose of the entertainment train with the fucking birthday clowns. And
Well, bottom
we're
line,
nobody. Celebrities are super accessible, so the people who listen are the ones who are responsible for your success. So make sure to take care of them.
1,000%. And that's when we do the trade shows. We're there drinking beers and high-fiving. That's what we do. And
who buys?
Well, they're the listener.
All right. What's the next trade show?
We go this weekend. We're going to Ohio, which it'll be past by the time this airs. We're hosting it's called the Whitetail Social. So it's us and a partner, Blackgate Trail Cameras.
And when is this?
We leave Saturday morning for Ohio.
Okay.
And it's basically everyone comes in. We're celebrating deer season. We're doing a live podcast, and then we have a country music guy we're buddies with. He's going to play a show, and
really,
we're going to hang out with everybody. And
so when will this air? Before that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So when's the next appearance that you're going to make?
We're going to
after this
launches.
Yeah,
we'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, the middle of February for the NWTF National Wild Turkey Federation show.
Huge show.
So when you guys are at the NTF, if you come up and say wheelchair pussy, you get your first drink is free.
Oh, my Doug.
On Kurt.
He said
I just told you about partnership, man. You guys are all in.
Yeah, it's all.
And then I want you to tell me, I want you to email me and go, God damn it, you know how many people come up and said wheelchair pussy?
Okay.
Especially the NWTF show is the biggest show.
I want to know, honest to God. So you go up and you better have some swag or some drinks or something for these. I'll never come on this shitty podcast again.
We got to make a hidden sticker that says wheelchair pussy.
Hey man, I heard.
We can make that happen before NWTF for sure.
Listening when you guys had that asshole DJ on. I just want to say, wheelchair pussy.
You gotta come and whisper it in Doug's ear.
Yeah, you gotta whisper it to me. You can't just yell it out.
You know what you just did.
I don't care.
What? Our entire trade show season is going to be, hey, dude, wheelchair pussy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's funny. It's an inside joke. And only the people who are listening to this will get it. And it sucks to be you, but man, it's too bad. You should have been getting all the...
How many times will Jordan get that on video this year?
Dude, Jordan, I'm sure it'll happen. Well, we should talk about Doug not getting any wheelchair pussy. That's... kind of sad, brother. All you gotta do is sit on your lap.
Sad times.
It's like when they give out those stickers like Ohio State with the Buckeyes. You just get some of those.
No, you know what it is? Have you ever seen these? This is
Put on my brace.
Illinois always did this. It's a classic thing. When you kill a deer, you got your Illinois deer pen. That's what you get your wheelchair pussy in. Put them all over your
if that term starts to trend like in the hunting world, man.
Oh, boy.
Hell yeah.
We can make wheelchair pussy buttons.
Well...
Happens.
Oh my gosh.
And we didn't plan to talk. I knew nothing about this.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
the beauty of doing what we do.
Well, listen,
You
man.
never know what the hell's going to come out of this.
It's awesome that I'm super proud of you guys. You're right here in the
Thank
backyard,
you.
and if you grew up listening to me, and it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
man.
we really did.
Well done.
We really did. It's pretty cool from my old man listening and then growing up and having a job that we weren't. I mean, we did it right. It was fine, but it helped us get through our day.
It did.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being here. It means a lot. It
All
really
right.
does.
Thanks for coming
Not a
out.
problem. Not a problem at
appreciate
all.
Twodorks.com. And if somebody that's not from the Quad City area, you can go there and you can listen live, right? So
You better register wheelchairpussy.com. Get in on that because the merch is going to be fun.
That's priority taken.
guaranteed it's a website.
No, it's some stupid fetish thing. You get legitimize it and say, "No, man, it's not dirty at all. It's Doug. He just
It's just Doug.
There's probably some like cat wheelchair like donation program. It's like help crippled cats.
Actual cats.
I'm gonna look this shit up right now.
Yeah,
shit.
actual cat. Here, I'm gonna. You know,
Turn the
what?
cameras off. You can't show this.
This is my computer. Just
Oh, this is going to be dangerous.
just for
Make it. Put it all one word and then
juicy wheels.
Okay, so do www.wheelchairpussy.com and see if it comes up, and if it doesn't, you should register it.
Here.
Oh, here we go. Looks like there aren't any great matches. That's your new thing.
Wow.
Hello, brought to you by Wheelchair Pussy.
Whatever this
The
is.
Ghetto Legends are back on tour. Wheelchair Pussy, starring Doug.
Shit.
Money
you guys,
back mafia.
you guys found my page.
Welcome to the streaming service that brings you.
Doug, you just have to be in a wheelchair from now on.
Shit.
Yeah.
Big J told a lady in a wheelchair.
Wheelchair
would.
pussy stick.
By the way.
Wheelchair pussy stink. I told my wife I was coming on a hunting
Yeah.
podcast. And what'd you
Holy
guys
shit.
talk about? Oh, nothing. You,
Nothing.
You wouldn't
honey.
understand.
Hey, don't listen to that.
You wouldn't know what we're talking about.
Turns out no one listens to that show.
Well, we'll find out. Send me an email. I want to know.
Okay.
Like with the pictures and everything.
Okay,
So-
yeah, we'll get pictures.
And you guys listen, do your thing. Don't ease up on him.
Okay, yeah, well, that's what we need.
That's all I needed to add it on to this church.
This episode timing couldn't have happened perfectly. It's gonna air right before
He
trade
doesn't know
show
about the
season.
tattoo either.
Oh, we gotta tell him real quick now. Doug lost a bet last year and he got a tattoo on his ass.
I'll show you.
Want to see it?
Yeah, let him have it.
That sticker is on my butt
Why?
because I lost a bet.
What was the bet?
So Doug and I always do a bet every year. It's usually like bigger, who shoots the bigger buck, or like that year that we had the bet, it was most inches, right?
Yeah.
So like the bigger deer, like every deer you shoot, their antlers, there's a scoring system for inches.
Yeah, just add it to it.
So I shot more inches than Doug, and the bet was I bet him he had to shave his mustache. And he's like, nope, no one can touch the mustache.
I
And
got
we're
too
like-
much pride.
I'm like, okay.
I heard.
So I'm like, all right, well, if you won't shave the
Wheelchair pussy, apparently.
you won't shave the mustache, then how about a tattoo of Elmer Fudd on your ass? And he shook my hand, and he
It's
lost.
there?
It's there.
All right. I got to see it now.
Oh, gee.
Whip it out right now on air. You're getting the full.
1 second. I'll give you one.
Okay, we got to tune into the morning show tomorrow because we're gonna get roasted.
He's licking his. Oh my God, he did.
Pretty
Oh
sweet,
my
right?
God, you
Who's
did.
okay? So who's the tattoo artist?
My buddy Zach Dole. from
No,
Freedom-
don't say his name. Be like, hey man, I need something right here on my ass.
No, we filled him in. He's like, I'll do it. He came here and did it.
On the show.
No, we should have, but we did it. We had a whole tattoo day. He tattooed me. and all that
Nice.
Pretty badass. isn't it?
Yeah, pretty badass.
Pretty badass.
Fucker's badass. Ain't it?
Tat ass. Tat ass.
Well, hey, sorry and thanks for coming.
No,
on.
no, man. I appreciate you having me. It's
a
like I said,
blast.
I'm proud of you guys. Anybody who could take their passion and turn it into this empire, if you will. I mean, you quit your job to do this, and you're making it. So that you
Yeah.
should be proud of that. Good
Thanks,
for
man.
you guys.
Thanks, man.
All
We're
right.
going to listen to the whole show tomorrow because we're going to get roasted for sure.
I can't say pussy on the radio.
Why not? Wheelchair. There's a substitute.
I'll call in.
No. Keep this is your thing. Just keep it for yourself.
Yeah,
That way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody-
No, seriously, thank you.
It's going to be
That's
a
gonna be
t-shirt
fucking
before we
great.
know it.
All right, everybody. TwoDorks.com. Check them out. Thanks for tuning in. You know what to do. Go shoot your bow. We love you. Wheelchair pussy.